Yeah, hey, drop. Yeah, hey, drop. Yeah, hey, drop.
Every player on the ice has a 10-minute misconduct, among other penalties.
I have never.
Welcome back, everyone. Extremely happy to be back after the holidays and the new year. It's 2026 now. I'm here with Aaron and Anna, and we have the one and only Jack Berry, Mystery Equipment Manager for the Columbus River Dragons, with us tonight. How's everyone doing?
Doing good, thank you.
Doing
Good.
great.
Doing great. I hope everybody had a good new year. I know I missed you guys. We are super glad to be back after I think we had like 3 weeks off. So Jack, thank you for joining us. I know we're pretty stoked to have you on
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
for sure.
And we're trying to expand the horizon on people we get, not only coaches, players, but we've reached out and tried some other avenues as well. And equipment managers, we hear they have some of the greatest stories. So, Jack, I guess first scene, you're with the Columbus River Dragons. How did you kind of end up there in that role?
Well, I retired. I was medically retired in 2016 from the Army.
Oh, thank you for your service.
and
Thank you for your service.
poor life decisions. That's all. The Columbus Cottonmouths, SPHL. So I was going to the games. Ended up befriending Jerome Bichard, coach of the River Dragons, and he had pretty much told me I could have the ice whenever I wanted after their skates, but I had never been on ice before. This was in 1996. No, 2016. I'm sorry, 2016. So I'd never been on ice before. So he told me to buy a pair of skates. Bought a pair of skates, taught myself how to skate. Played in 3 adult D-League games, which is for people that can't skate or play. And I just wanted something to do with something, you know, like coming from the Army and being retired. That's a big brakes are kind of hit full speed. And I just wanted to kind of stay busy. Hockey's the greatest sport on earth, and I just wanted to be a part of it. So I kept asking Jerome, and he said, like, hey, come on out. And I just felt uncomfortable. So fast forward to 2020, I paddled the Mississippi River, and somewhere south of St. Louis, he called me and asked me if I was still interested in the job.
Wow.
Obviously jumped on it, you know, because that's what I wanted to do. And the good part is he tells me, he said, hey, when you come into town, let's do lunch. We'll discuss the job. So I get back about a month later. We're having lunch. He says, like, you don't want to be the equipment manager. He said, there's a lot of prima donnas. There's a lot of little nitpicky work. He said, you don't really want that. He goes, but I need a bus driver. And I said, I'm your man. That was my end. The only thing is I just wanted a seat on the bench because that's the greatest seat in any arena. So 2 weeks later, Jeff Krupp, the owner of Ignite Sports and the Columbus River Dragons, calls me, welcomes me aboard the family, says like, hey, welcome aboard. You're going to come on as the bus driver, big role. We need a good bus driver, but you're also going to do the equipment. So right off the bat, I was thrown into the fire, and that's what I've been doing ever since.
I love that they reached back out and they got you to come on, even though I know you said you felt uncomfortable. Did you mean like you felt like you lacked confidence on the ice, or what gave you? I know you said that you wanted to be a part of hockey. What was it like when you took on that role, and like were you nervous in the beginning, and how did you get more comfortable doing what you do?
So this is another story I'll tell you. Josh Petrantonio was a captain of the Columbus. Yep, trooper, like rock star. I mean, I'm surrounded by rock stars. Jeff told me, he said, you're going to just shadow Petro, and he's going to show you the ropes, how to sharpen skates, how to do the equipment, what you need to do before practice, after practice, so on and so forth. And I was really leery of that because pro athletes, I mean, these are, at the end of the day, these are pro athletes. And I've been around some pro athletes to where the attitudes and egos kind of get in the way. So I was leery at first. And day one, Petro walked me through one of the greatest guys that walks the earth. And he dialed me in, showed me what I needed to do, and kind of just been doing it ever since, kind of learning as I go. I still don't know everything, but, I'm always willing to learn. But I thought, like I said, that he would have a big ego, and we ended up in bingo that year. We actually stayed in bingo for a week or for 5 days, and we ended up rooming together. I had to tell him, I said, like, I have to be honest with you. I made a bad judgment. Like usually my judgment on people is pretty good. And I told him, I said, like, I thought you were going to be this egomaniac attitude guy, and I was 100% wrong. Like, he is one of the greatest people that I know. So, like, yeah, I'm blessed to fall into that. So,
yeah, he's definitely a huge, great example. He really is.
Yeah. And the cool thing is every team has a Petrantonio, and that's kind of like the big part for me, and being a part of this is I get to be around those people, like I was around, I walked amongst giants when I was in the Army. And I was fortunate to be around the people that I was around, and to kind of be around the same caliber in a different forum is awesome, really awesome. So kind of keeps your head out of the dark spots, and like makes going to work fun.
Yeah, I feel that.
So I think that's an amazing story about, like you really started from the bottom. And I think you're, not that I know anything about being an equipment manager whatsoever, but like I was telling you off camera, you've been around. To me, I feel like you've been around forever because you've been around the FPHL, I think, as long as I've known about the FPHL. So to me, you're one of the longest lasting people because you've been here since I started watching the FPHL. But starting from the bottom and totally starting from scratch, what would you say is like the hardest thing to learn about being an equipment manager?
I'll tell you, the boys are picky about their skates. So that was getting really dialed in on that. I'd say it took me a good season to really, and there were guys that, and I don't blame them, like that's tools for their craft, right? So they have to be perfect. Yeah, well, some of them, some of the sharpenings weren't perfect, but for a while I did it by myself. So I was the equipment guy and the bus driver. My biggest fear was packing out for road trip and getting there and like, God, I forgot Petro's jersey, or I forgot Joe's jersey, or like forgetting the minor things. Luckily, that hasn't happened, but those were my biggest fears. And then just kind of really making them happy and getting them to trust me because they knew my background. Like I have zero hockey, pedigree. So like that was kind of the hard part, really. So, and there's still some that are like that don't trust me with their skates. I don't blame them.
Yeah, it's funny. One of my billets, we're down in where I say North Mexico. He literally sends his blades back to Michigan. Well, the year that he was here, he did. He had 2 sets of blades, and every 6 weeks he dropped them in the mail, picked them up, and I'm very not surprised that they're very specific about their blades.
Yeah, there's and some can be very specific. Cody Wickline, he's got a guy in Dallas that does a lot of the Dallas Stars profiles, so he's kind of religious on that. Win, same deal. Like and I hate having to kind of do some of those. You end up doing them, but you kind of like you have to always asking like, hey, how are your skates? How are your skates? How are your skates? And I know they get tired of it, but for me, I need that kind of, rest assured that, hey, they're good and they'll last. That's all I need them to last. So, but like I said, hit or miss. I think I'm doing pretty good this year.
I think
And I
interviewed.
when some of the other players come into town, I do their skates, and even some of the other teams in the previous seasons would travel with an equipment guy, not too many, and I would still end up doing somebody's skates. So like I think that makes me feel better that at least I've caught on a little bit. So
Yeah. And a lot of people don't seem to understand like the blades, the sharpness, the angles and stuff like that. There's definitely a lot more into it, and it's not just essentially a knife blade and it's good. Run it through a little knife sharpener. There's a lot more to it.
correct.
It's
And-
like not only that, but I don't recall seeing it at least yet this year, but I think I've seen once or twice you've had to replace a blade or somebody's blade came off like mid-game.
Yes, like that happened to a couple goalies last year. One of our goalies, and then another team's goalie, and they didn't travel with an equipment guy. So when you're here, if you don't have anybody to take care of you, I'll take care of it. Like I'm not that 60-minute guy to where like I don't like you. Like at the end of the day, my job is to obviously get the River Dragons going, but I'll also help the other team as well. So, and that's kind of the hard part for some people, but they don't. That's just the way like it was for me while I was in the Army. It was just like other people kind of helping me do my job. So like for the most part, I'm just kind of paying it back, I guess. So, but yeah, always replacing blades every now and then. Sometimes the snow is, or the ice is too soft or too hard, so you got to kind of make it. Some of the players, you need to make adjustments. So that's what I do. Keeps me busy. Kind of interrupts the game, but because at the end of the day, I'm there for the game.
I was going to say, I'm very impressed because as a Dragon fan myself, I think that it's great that even if it's a Thunderbird, that you wouldn't hide their blades, because maybe I would.
No, and that's the thing is the weird thing was that people would come in and they would trust me with their skates.
Yeah.
I can really do a lot of damage. At the end of the day, I can, if they want a 3/4 hollow, on their steel, I can change it to an inch and an eighth or an inch and a half or 3/8. I can really, but I don't. And
I
like
think that speaks volumes that other
does.
teams would trust you. You know what I mean? I think that's very commendable.
yes, and that's the one that is kind of made me feel more welcome as the time went on. So yeah, for sure.
What would you say is like maybe one of the most surprising skills that's like in your toolbox, I guess? We've heard that you guys can do everything from sharpening the blades to sewing up something really quick.
Yeah. So I kind of had to learn sewing on the fly. I probably should have taken home economics when I was in high school, learn how to cook and sew. I didn't. So that was me really learning on the fly. And, like if a guy, especially my first season, oh my God, like they would bring me a pair of gloves, and the finger kind of blew out, or their pants, they got a tear in their pants. Got to sew that up. They're not going to do it, so that's me kind of fumbling through it, and then just kind of, hopefully it lasts more than a game. But yeah, that's it, and I've sewed, like the thing that kills me the most are the players' gitch, so like, I don't know. I don't want to drop a dime. I won't mention his name, but he was very attached to his gitch bottoms, so I would have to sew up his gitch, and it would last a game or two. And then I was sewing up another hole, and like, that's what he wanted. So that's what I did. But
was it a superstitious reason why he was attached to his gitch, or was it just that he was comfortable with it and liked it?
I think he was comfortable with it, like I didn't understand it, like I would always tell him like, hey, Christmas is coming. Maybe gitch bottom, but yeah, he didn't. So next season he showed up with some new ones. So that was pretty good.
We have a pretty good viewer question here.
Uh-oh.
John asks, what has been the most unique issue that you've had to fix? And he mentions that it always seems like sorcery for us that don't have that experience.
Let's see. That's a hard one. Like I really don't think anything was too terribly hard or sorcery, but sometimes like, okay, had a pair of player skates. The toe cap was just totally blown out of them, so I was dealing with like what the JB weld. I was working with super glue. I was trying hot gun glue, trying everything, and then airplane tape, like the really heavy duty stuff. And well, he brought those skates back this year. They were still good. So that's probably the biggest one, like, and then he ended up getting a new pair of goalie skates this year. So that was good. But
you talking like 100-mile-an-hour tape, kind of heavy duty tape?
This is better. Way better.
Okay.
Yeah, this is Gorilla.
That's a good tape.
100-mile-an-hour tape's good, but Gorilla tape is like big plug. But Gorilla tape, for sure.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Yeah.
Call us Gorilla Tape. Let us know.
Excel. Just Excel over it. Call it good.
But yeah, I've had to do 2 pair of skates like that to where just kind of kept them going until they could get new skates. So, and that's the frustrating part is having to do that. And then, like as a goalie, I don't want that to pop out mid game, because that's kind of dangerous, I think, But yeah, I kind of kept them going for a while, and it doesn't hurt my feelings, busy, when you're on the road or like you have a lot of downtime. So, but yeah, that's probably the biggest one.
Could I ask a follow-up skate question? So one day I came home and my cookie sheet was on the counter and there's a pair of skates sitting on it, and this player sticks them in the oven, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? And he kind of explained it, but he didn't. And I was wondering if you could maybe explain the dynamic of cooking your skates?
So they bake this. Now you got to remember, from a zero hockey background, right? So imagine I'm a 4-year-old and I'm going to explain to you baking skates.
Yeah.
So basically, you bake them so you can kind of break them in a little bit faster. You heat the plastic up and the skate up, and then you strap them on your feet for about a half an hour, and you just sit there for a half an hour, and then it's supposed to contour to your feet faster, which makes sense. I mean, because those skates are pretty hard and rigid, Yeah, he was doing it, I don't know, probably not the greatest way, because I've seen, videos of guys that left it too long and the skates are just dripping through the,
Wow.
That
I
would be a
believe that.
travesty.
Yeah, and we have a skate oven, so like it's just 15 minutes. It's the right temperature. It's not too hot, So.
So it's built specifically to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So that's the easy part, because I would not take a player's skate and throw it in the oven, because it would be another one of those videos just dripping through the grate. So.
Watch this, guys.
Yeah. I don't want to be that guy, because those skates are expensive, like $900, I think, low end pro, and then up to 12 in custom 14, I think. Like, I don't make that much money, so like that would wipe me out. I'd have to start selling plasma.
Got an appointment today.
Anna, as hot as you say it gets in New Mexico, you probably could have just threw them on the roof
Honestly.
with
Yes.
some tin foil underneath.
Yeah.
Just try to keep it cleanish.
Yeah. Sorry I jumped in rotation, Sam. It popped into my head and I didn't want to forget.
No. You're good. Another question I kind of had is, I tend to see you travel quite a bit. Do you travel to like all the games, or is there only select certain games you go to?
I go to all of them, because I drive the bus. So wherever the team goes, the bus goes, and that's me. I drive that thing. That's the big red rocket. So, yeah, like I said, I got roped into both. I got hired as a bus driver and then got roped into equipment manager. So so I get to go to all of them. And when it was the Columbus Cottonmouths in the SPHL, I wanted to go to all the teams' barns and watch a game. And it didn't come to fruition, because the next year they didn't renew their contract with the SPHL. And when the River Dragons came about again, or when hockey came back to Columbus, then, that was one of the other things I wanted to do, was go to all the places. But getting a job with the River Dragons, that was, that's the bucket list, right? So I've been everywhere except Indiana, which we have this month in, I think, 2 weeks. So I'll get Indiana, and I think that's all of them. I mean, great places, and get to see a different part of the world, meet different people, different families. So that's the cool part of it, really.
One of our viewers, Ricky, asked, which barn was your favorite to visit?
Favorite. I'm not going to lie to you. Athens and Bingo are the big ones, because those are big venues, right? When you look at Bingo's past with the AHL, and then obviously with Athens, this is their second season. I mean, it's beautiful to go there. I mean, that's, now granted, there's some places that I don't want to say fortunate, because they have great places, but I like going to I liked Delaware, because that was a small one, and the bench was Delaware's penalty box bench side. It was either Watertown or Delaware, where their penalty bench was right next to my bench. Like when our guys were going to the bottom, take a selfie with the guys, and that's, I have like 10 pictures with different guys in the penalty box. So
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah. And every single one like has kind of different nuances about them. Like Carolina, like just great people. Well, everybody has great people, but like I think I have more of a. I think I interact more with their fans than anywhere else. So, and then like I like Monroe. I mean, just because it's Louisiana, and you always get good food when you're in Louisiana.
Oh, yeah.
I will say that there's no bad place I've been.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. That's the big one. There's been no bad place. So it depends on where we're going.
For sure.
Yeah.
Miss Erin.
What is your favorite post-game or pre-game snack? If you could have any snack in the world, tell us a little bit about Jack Ferry. If you could have any snack in the world, what would it be?
So I love ice cream. And it's what is it? I can't even think of the name of it. Yeah, it's Moose Tracks Deluxe. So that's chocolate, but yeah, I don't know who made it, but like I would love to shake his hand or her hand, whoever. Like I'm a cream guy. Sure. What's that?
Almost sounds like a Ben and Jerry's type flavor.
Oh, it's got like little peanut butter cups in there, and it's got like hard chocolate marbled throughout the chocolate ice cream. Yeah, you can't, nothing screams diabetes more than that.
Yeah, I think I've had it, and it is amazing.
Oh, it is. Yeah. But yeah, that'd be the one. And then obviously cookies or donuts. I'm big on both. Yeah.
Now, hospitality definitely matters for the opposing teams and stuff. And since you definitely are part of the team, to include the bus driving and everything, I'm sure you get to experience some of the hospitality.
Yeah.
Been a day, I guess. But would you say you have a favorite location or anything because their hospitality?
I'll tell you, and I probably shouldn't because I don't want to leave anybody out. I've never gone anywhere where I needed something and they couldn't get it for me or do it for me. But I'm not going to lie. I have a penance for Carolina, Tri-City. Their staff is they pulled me out last season to take a picture with their staff. And to me, as small as that seems, that was pretty big, kind of felt like I ride. Yeah. So, and I'm always trying to photo bump their pictures and their photographers. I got a good one this season, but no, like Carolina, they're just, bend over backwards. Don't really have to ask for anything. It's already there. And then the boys are phenomenal. I mean, like they're volunteers, but easily could go anywhere, SP Coast, and and crush it, Yeah. So, but and then there's Rod, like he's the man. He was with Tampa, so.
He was with who?
Tampa.
Like the Lightning?
Like the Lightning.
So me and Aaron, we're
He's got a
huge
couple.
Tampa
He's
Bay
got a couple
fans.
rings. He's got a couple of rings. Show them to me because they're in. They're one of the safety deposit boxes. I wouldn't.
Who is that was with Tampa?
Rod.
From Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, he's a rock star.
Back here, I don't know if you can see, but I have my Andre Vasilevsky signed puck, and I always said if I had to leave the house in an emergency, I'm grabbing that. It's going with me.
My son would like that.
Is he a Bassie fan?
He's an any goalie fan. He was a Marc-Andre Fleury fan, and then Marc-Andre quit, you know,
Gotta
so
love Fleury.
yeah, that's his number's 29, so like,
Aw.
he's any goalie whatsoever. That's what he plays.
Goalies are the best, though.
They are. And I want to ask you a follow-up question about your son and playing goalie. But before that, we've got 2 orders of business we have to get to. I want to give a shout out to Matraka Time. They're our sponsors. They make noise makers from broken hockey sticks. So we're going to roll their clip really quick.
Let's go!
And the second thing, I want to give a couple shout outs real quick. Hey, Mom, I know you watch every week. We love you. So hi. And I want to give a shout out to Petey, because last weekend they did where you could bring your dogs to one of the games. And all these dogs showed up. It was amazing. And I noticed this one. So Kristen, a shout out to you with your Great Dane Miles. We're very pet friendly here at 10 Minute Misconduct. And I have got Danes too. And I think we have a photo. Hopefully we can get that up.
He looks like Booner and Archie in his own
He's
way.
cute, right?
That's a horse.
Yeah. Yes.
That is a
So
horse.
we wanted to say hey and give you a shout out. So we just want to give you the first star of the week for basically being super cool. So now, Jack, back to you. Can you tell us a little bit about your son, and did you get him started into hockey before or after you became an equipment manager?
Well, he was my retirement gift. He's a 14. No, he's a 15. That's horrible. So, when I retired, my wife was managing the housing for Fort Benning. And they had asked her if she would go out to Monterey and manage the military housing out there. So we had the opportunity to move to Monterey for 2 years. In my head, I was like, I'm going to continue, because I just started learning hockey. I was like, I'm going to keep it up. I'm going to start skating and, get better. And there was no ice in Monterey. San Jose was the closest, and it was, I think, like 56 miles away. With California traffic, that could be an hour, could be 2 hours. Yeah. So, next best thing, I watch hockey games with Kevin. Always Pittsburgh. I'm a Penguins fan. And he would sit up there and watch with me. And then, I think when he was 3, I bought him a full-size net and one of the kind of like cheesy hockey goalie pads, for kids, kind of just goof off around. And then he would dress and then go get in the net and kind of shoot on him. And from that, it just took off. Like I said, there was no ice. He was 3, so we started inline skating. And then he was asked to play roller hockey in Seaside, California. So he did that for, I think, a season and a half, and then COVID kind of hit and kind of wiped it out. And then I had left to Afghanistan, and while I was there, I just bought him a full set of goalie pads, from CCM, another plug, and he would put them on, and my wife would get out there and shoot on them, and it just took off from there. And then he just wanted to be a goalie. So, and he's pretty fun to watch. He's pretty good. So
I love it. That's amazing. So will he progress into, does he want to play in juniors? Is that kind of the plan?
He would like to play. His goal is the NHL, which, my job is to facilitate that. So, the money that I do make during the season just is gone in the summer, camps. And then I'm fortunate to work for a hockey team because, the goalies work with Kevin, and that's big,
For sure.
Every goalie we've had, I think, is, Coles, T. Babs, Roy. Roy's is his goalie coach now, and that's, I kind of look at it like it's cheating, but but no, they take care of Kevin. They kind of take a shining to him, and they work with him, which is big for me because Columbus isn't a very big hockey town. Like we had, Cox, Jake Cox. He started with the Columbus Cottonmouth organization, and he left and went to St. Louis, and then he's in the PHL. So he's like the only kid that's that started in Columbus, and then now look at him. He's crushing it. So there's hope. I tell Kevin there's hope. If he can get a gig in the FPHL, I'll drive the bus and sharpen his skates. Doesn't hurt.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that so much.
Yeah.
Aaron, I think you're up.
I think it is so fun. I think it's almost just as fun to watch. I call it mini human hockey. Like, I know your kid being 15, he's not like as mini of a human anymore.
Yeah.
But I think mini human hockey to me is just as fun. Shout out to all of the kids out there chasing their dreams. My niece does it. We go and watch her as often as we can, and it's just so great. And it's amazing to watch these guys from the Fed, and even I'm sure from other leagues and whatnot, to go out there and to teach the little ones and the not so little ones. And it's just, I think the family and the community that these hockey teams create is just so amazing, and it flabbergasts me sometimes how great it can be. So good luck to Kevin. We would like to see Kevin reach the NHL too. We hope Kevin gets a CCM plug, CCM sponsor there soon. What's been your what's your favorite hockey memory?
Ooh. That would be, I have a bad memory.
Do it. We want to hear it.
Okay, I'll do my
We
three.
want to hear it.
I'll do my three bad memories, and this is a plug. I don't mind dropping the name. Game 3, semis, overtime, Gus Ford, game winner, 3 seasons. Like, amazing person.
Yeah.
But, man, like, if he could have just been in the SP for that week.
Yes. Yes.
Just that week.
Yeah. And then obviously, like last year, Athens was such a strong team, big team, physical team, still the same. And to beat them in the semis was pretty big. It's and that's a testament to the players and the coach, obviously, because I think Jerome's probably one of the greatest chess players there are, and that was pretty good to walk across the ice, and and then obviously Gus Ford, so he sent us home, but all good.
Yeah. Two things. I know Columbus, and I've seen some of the other organizations and stuff the cities and stuff have also tried to start doing it. But street hockey, has your boy tried street hockey at all with Columbus during the off season, or?
No, because Kevin's too busy, so Kevin, I'm fortunate that it's a blessing and a curse to have an athlete, because he doesn't just play hockey. He plays baseball, he plays soccer, he's played basketball with his little elementary school, he's done flag football, so he's always go. Now when he's with the boys, and they have a weekend or like a holiday, they're playing roller hockey or street hockey. I mean, it's or knee hockey, like something along those lines, like without fail. They're always doing it. It's like eat, sleep, and breathe. That's those boys.
And then I got one other question to kind of also tie with that. Chattahoochee Valley Warriors.
Yes.
A veteran organization to get veterans and stuff out there to play hockey. And also build that extended family. Have you done anything with them? Have you tried to play with them or anything? Like, what, any experience there with them?
So I'm a prideful person, and I won't play for them because I can't stop. And when I say that, it's like I can skate straight and I can turn left and right. I can't stop. So I'm either going to run into somebody or the wall. And I know my limits, like I wish I grew up somewhere where hockey was a thing, but I didn't. So like I got to let that go. But those guys are like true warriors, to get out there and they play like it's the NHL. It's no walk in the park, and it's such a great opportunity for veterans. Because one of the biggest things that I get from being with the River Dragons is it's a sense of family. And I don't think from a military aspect, growing up in all the team rooms, when I walk in the locker room or when I'm with the guys, it's like I'm back in the team rooms again. And that's big for me because it keeps the head out of dark spots. And you look at organizations like the Warriors and like it gives them an opportunity to kind of keep their head out of the dark spots, give them something to look forward to. Like, man, we got a game, we got to practice, and they're regimented. They're not just like weekend warriors. They're into it, and they're into it big, which is good, And I do get to watch some of the games when they're here, but Fort Benning has a team. And they went up and played. Let's see. Gosh, it's the one in Kentucky. They're going to kill me. I can't remember. Fort Campbell. They played the Fort Campbell team. And like I told them, because I just want to watch hockey. That's it. And I told them, I said, I'll be your EQ, So I brought some stuff from the rink. I brought my box that had everything in it, in case I got to change a strap or an ear loop or, I got, everything I need to do my job. And it just so happened that that's when Nashville was playing their one of their exhibition games with the prospects. So got to pre-hockey watching Campbell, and it was a barn burner. It's kind of like that, Benning lost. I'm not happy about it. But then afterwards, getting to take in a Preds game, which was big. So yeah, like hats off to the Warriors. Yeah, if they ever need an EQ, if I'm not busy, give me a call.
Yeah, we know a few of them personally. So if you want us to link you up with any of them, I mean, I'm sure you probably know them too. But
I know a few of them. Yeah. It's see them on the ice. Yeah, but that's about it. Yeah.
There's a fantastic question here. So I just want to preface, have you seen the TikToks where like the smelling salts and it's like a prank and you get somebody to smell inside the jar and it like kills them almost?
Yeah.
So I wanted to get the smelling salts so we could all do it. But then I started watching the TikToks and I started asking some of the players and like, I feel like I would like start crying and being like that viral video where they're like, she's awful. So anyway, there's a guy or a girl, Versace Moose, shout out to you. They asked, what brand smelling salts is your favorite?
So I don't think it's a brand. I get a bottle from some of the refs. I just got a new one this weekend in Monroe, which is
the bottle stronger than the ones you snap?
Oh my God. So
Yeah.
the stuff that I get is homemade by a chemist. So this guy has access to like the good stuff. And I've tried the off the shelf and, like guys are like, oh, you got to try this. You got to try this. And I try it and it's good for a little while, but it loses its punch after a while. I've had a bottle last me for a little over a season, and it was still pretty potent. But like I said, I just got a new bottle this weekend, and it will. I think, like I always tear up. It feels like my head's imploding. and like it's just I don't get it, like how strong it is. Like it
Yeah.
should be legal. And we have people in Columbus that when I pop the bottle and hand it around, that smell just kind of like wafts through the air,
Right.
and they'll over the glass. They'll be like, "We can smell that." You know, it's pretty. And I'll tell them like, "Don't go in deep. Don't go in deep." You know,
Yeah.
you know.
Well,
But you get that one guy that'll always not listen to me because I don't know
Yeah.
what I'm talking about. And then he's geared up. Like, yeah.
So viewers, let us know if you want us to get the smelling salts and try them on a live sometime. And we'll have to see if everybody would want to do it. But so is the idea behind it that the ammonia or whatever it is kind of opens you up and helps kind of oxygenate your blood more? Or like, what is the deal with smelling salts?
I don't know. I think
Yeah.
it just amps you up, and it's just like it kind of makes you more alert. Yeah, I think that's about all it does is just like really, you know, get you going. Like
Yeah.
you'll see, like Zabad's really, he goes in deep, and he's perked.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I think that's probably. I don't know. I don't know the scientific aspect of it, but yeah, I think it's just to kind of like really get you go, you know.
That might be a fun video idea for the Dragons to do, a
Oh, we
smelling
can-
salt
we
TikTok
can
type
do it.
thing. Yeah,
I'll-
I would love to see that.
Tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're. I think it would be better if the staff would do it.
Yeah.
That too. Yes.
Have the media staff do
Yeah.
it.
I think they go home and do this stuff. You know, like for me, I just do it when I get on the bench to make sure that it's good, and then that's it. But I think they go home. I think they roll over in the middle of the night and
Just
grab the
hit it real
smellies.
quick.
Yeah. Like, yeah, that's what I think, because it doesn't do anything to them. I mean, you know, you get some guys are just, and you're just like, oh my God, man, you know.
Wow.
So Anna, I'm down. I think we should do smelly salt videos, but I need Jack to send me the good stuff from his friend Walter White over there in Columbus.
I'll have, yeah. No, he's not Columbus, but I'll have to reach out to my buddy Stearns and see if he can get me another bottle, because I'm down for it. I'll send it to you guys.
Yeah, that would be super cool. And Sam, if
We gotta
you
try
end
the
up
good
going,
stuff.
if you end up going behind the bench, Jack, maybe you can get Sam to do
Yeah,
it live. That would be
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I want Jack to go live of Sam doing Jack
Yes.
smelling salt.
Hurry
Big
up
huffs,
then.
Sam.
Smelling
Big
salt.
huffs.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Don't go in deep. I'll tell you that.
Go in deep. Do it, Sam. I trust you.
It'll bring you down.
Aaron, I'll see if I can get some of my players to bring some home from the arena. I don't really see them do that in juniors, honestly, so I don't even know if you're allowed to. I'll have to ask them. But
That's
I'm
a good
stoked
question.
for the smelling salt content.
Yeah. That's
One of my friends from Binghamton who travels to all the away games, shout out to Ashley, not sure if she watches the shows or not, but she was telling us about they went to Port Huron and they sat right behind the bench. Mind you, we're Binghamton fans in Port Huron, so we're right behind the bench. We're not super familiar with the Port Huron barn, no shade or anything, but the way she just kept telling me that the way that the barn is in Port Huron, when you're behind the visitors bench, she said the guys during warmies kept taking it and doing their thing, and she's like, we kept smelling it. She's like, it kept coming, it kept creeping up over. She's like, it just smelled like ammonia, but it kept coming up and it kept creeping over. And I thought it was hilarious. I was like, huh, that'd be fun to sit there. Mind you, I mean, you've been to Binghamton, but for anybody else, I don't know if anybody here knows what the Port Huron barn is like. I haven't been there yet, so I really don't know. I just know the story from a friend. But like, we sit directly behind the bench in Binghamton. So if you're in Binghamton again, Jack, turn around, I'll wave at you.
Yeah, I'd like to.
But-
That was the scheduling this year kind of threw me off. 'Cause
Sucks.
Normally we'd go up to Detroit. We'd hit Port, and I like Port. I get chirped on Port, which is funny because I'm just the equipment guy, you know. But they're chirping on me, you know. But no, we don't get to get up there, and I'm hoping next year. hopefully next year we can get to bingo, and that's a long trip for us, right?
It is.
But no, like I'd love to get up there because I'll hand the salts over the glass. Doesn't hurt my
But
feelings.
see, we see them do the salts, and we always like pick on them, and we're like, all right, who's gonna make a face, who's not? But then when Ashley was telling me about it, and she's like, oh yeah, we could smell the salts in Port Huron.
Yeah. Like
I was like, oh damn, that's crazy.
let's see. I know the first bottle I got was one of the refs. He was reffing was it Port? No, it wasn't Port. It was Detroit, the Motor City Rockers. And like, he was like, hey, I got a bottle, here, and he let me smell it. And I said, I want that. So he gave it to me at the end of the game. And so I think the guy might be in Minnesota or in Michigan. I think. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know if it's legal what he does. So I don't know. I mean,
It's the Walter White of smelling salts.
he is. It's like I've sniffed a lot of smelling salts, but nothing comes close to that. Now, if somebody can try to beat it, send us a bottle and I'll let you know.
Oh yeah, you're that guy's challenge.
Yeah, that's a big challenge. Now all the chemists are going to come out of the woodwork.
Hey, I know this guy.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
Shahayla had a really good question in here earlier, and this was from a little earlier when we were talking about like your different skills and how you got your start, but I didn't see it until now. Do you like the skills that you have learned as an equipment manager? Do you think that they're useless skills, like they only apply to what you're doing, or do you feel like you're going to use them again, or you're never going to use those again outside of the EQ world?
So the biggest one is time management, right? So you only have a certain amount of you have so much time during the day to get everything done, and it's more condensed on the road, right? Because I've got to drive the bus, and I'm fortunate that for the past 3 seasons we brought on since I've started we brought on other equipment managers that we work together to get the job done, which is big. So time management's the big one. All the other skills, hey, I hope Kevin makes it to the NHL because I told him, I said, I'll sharpen your skates and drive the bus. They don't drive buses in the NHL. I'll have to get in. Yeah, but
pilot's license.
And then, all the skills that I'm learning really is, because I don't know how long I'm going to do this, maybe Jeff gets tired of me and just, puts me out to pasture, but, it's all useful, I think, especially when you have, when your son or daughter in the sport, I can do these things for him. And I do. I sharpen his skates. If something's wrong with his gear, I do the best I can to kind of get it up because he's a goalie. I'm not rich, so I got to kind of keep things going. But no, I think the sewing could go away. I would have no qualms with the sewing going away, especially when you're bringing me your underwear to sew up, But no, as far as everything else, I think it's all pretty useful. And, I'm sure, I'll come around using it at some point,
Yeah.
But it's not all, everything's directed to the sport for the most part, it's all hockey related.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a good one. That's a hard one. Yeah.
We have a special somebody in the audience. We see you, Kevin. He says, "This is my dad, I swear."
What a nerd.
Hey, Kevin. We think it's cool that Roy is your goalie coach, and we are definitely, you got fans over here at 10 Minute wishing you the best of luck in your career as a goalie. So good luck, buddy.
Oh, big
You
plug.
got this, bud.
Yeah, you got me on. That tugged on my heartstrings right there.
Yeah. Oh, he said, "Love you, Dad." Aw.
Yeah.
Aw, I
Listen,
love
you've
that.
got at least 4 new fans from this show that will always be in your corner and
Absolutely.
want to watch you succeed.
He's
We're gonna start checking back in with your dad every so often to see how Kevin's doing in hockey.
Yeah,
oh,
absolutely.
maybe one day you'll have him on when he's older.
That's what I was gonna
pretty
say.
big, yeah.
100%.
Absolutely.
Oh, you guys will be way Hollywood by then. So, you'll be doing the NHLers. So
Oh, I wish. Oh my gosh.
That
I
would
would
be
probably
nice.
fangirl so bad I'd get fired like the first day. They'd be
Oh,
like,
yeah.
okay, this
that's
was a
me.
mistake.
Anna and I would last maybe 10 minutes with anything that had to do Tampa.
Yeah, I wouldn't even
Like
make it in the building.
it would be really bad. Anna and I are really bad.
Yeah.
So
But same way with that's how Aaron is with bingo. That's how I am with the Dragons.
Yeah.
I mean, we were stationed at Benning and now we're over at Bliss and I still tune in. I still do like the podcast. I love everything that is the Dragons. You know what I mean? So I think that's fair. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
before we wrap things up, I know there's a question in the comments we ask every week, and then I have a question, and then if it's okay, I'd love to do like the hot seat round robin where we ask you some questions about the team.
sure.
Well, the first one I was going to actually ask about, and I've kind of been eyeing it. Were you with the Dragons when they went up into Carolina and there was that all-out brawl?
No. See, I'm always looking for one, but at the end of the day, it's not my game, but no, like my first couple seasons, I would always, if they brought an equipment guy down or, whatever, I would always say, hey, if it's a bench clear, we're going.
Yes.
So, which I'm glad that's never happened, but no, yeah, like I wasn't there, I've been lucky to see some good ones, but because we had Schmidt, we've like, and I just want to put this out there, like everybody, everybody has their team tough guy, but I'm not going to lie to you, I haven't met one person that's not a tough guy in hockey. Like there's not one guy that skates on the ice that, like in the back of my head, I'm like, I don't want to mess with that guy, Like they're all just like maniacs. And like the ones that you don't think are the ones that are pretty good.
Crazy.
So, yeah, like they're nuts. Absolutely nuts.
So I see the pineapple pizza in the background. I definitely want to ask that question, but really quick, I wanted to ask, what is your favorite hockey movie? I know a lot of people, it's like a really big deal of all the hockey movies, which one is your favorite? So I'm just curious.
Let's see. I like Goon. So when I was playing in the adult D League, I actually shaved this part out. It went out like that was gonna, my wife absolutely hated it. But no, I like Goon. And then, Slap Shot and, what was I can't remember the name. The one with Rob Lowe, that was iconic. That's when I was in high school, but yeah, those are some big ones. But Goon for the comedy aspect of it.
We've had the real life Goon on our show. I'll have to send you the link if you haven't seen it. But shout out to you, Doug Smith. He's great. He told us some cool little behind the scenes stuff on that movie as well. So I'll send you the link to. Yes, Ricky, I agree. I love Miracle. Miracle's a good one.
So here's a true story. I was the training NCO for the unit I was in Fayetteville. And we used to get a lot of guys from SF that would kind of didn't make it through the Q course. Mm-hmm. So my buddy calls me up. He said, I have this kid. And I said, yeah. And I said, bring him on down. I told my boss, I said, hey, got this kid coming in. He comes, recommended. Comes in. I give him the paperwork to fill out. This is before, not really before computers, but I wasn't really computer savvy. So he's in the back room. He's filling out the paperwork. And my buddy says, he goes, you know who that is? And I said, no. And he said, have you ever seen that hockey movie, Miracle? And I said, yeah. That's an iconic movie. And he said, it's Matt Nudo. And I said, what? And I hit up the old Google machine, and I punch his name in, Miracle. Sure enough, kid's name is Matt Nudo, but this kid's shaved head, he's lost some weight. And so I call him in and I'm like, are you this guy? And then that's when I see it. I was like, oh my God, that was the guy. Yeah.
Huh.
So, yeah, that was.
So he used to be stationed at Fort Bragg?
Yes, he was. He didn't come to us. He ended up going to the 82nd, did a deployment with them, came back, and went back to the Q course, was selected, and then, worked with them. Kind of a horror story, like at the end of the day, because mental health is kind of a big deal. So it took his life, so yeah. That's not
Sorry,
good.
it's so sad.
But yeah, that was my 5 minutes of fame, I think, was just meeting that kid. And, like, he was the guy, he was the big guy. So, yeah. And I kept in touch with him, for a while. And then obviously, he went someplace better. But yeah, that was my 5 minutes of fame. So, I burned it early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were stationed at Bragg too, next to Benning. That was one of our favorite duty stations. And I actually didn't know about the fire ants when I lived there. So I wish I had, because would have had hockey. But
we did, but they didn't mark it. Like, I was here.
Yeah.
I got stationed at Fort Benning in 2012, and I didn't know there was hockey until 2015.
yeah.
Like, the marketing was not there, and one night my buddy said, hey, let's go to a hockey game. And I was like, where are we going? And they said, right here in Columbus. And we went down and saw the Columbus Cottonmouths, But Fort Bragg was good because they've got that sheet of ice. They've got
Yes. Like
they
octopus.
adult league is adult league, and they've got some, like, they had some guys that really played, the higher levels of hockey, like on some of those teams. So yeah, going down and watching them sometimes was just like going to any other hockey game,
I have a funny story about that specific sheet of ice. I went ice skating there with my best friend and my fiance, and I didn't know how to skate. And anyway, I thought I was just going to like accelerate him a little bit, give him like a little push. No, I push him, he eats shit, right? And this guy skates by and just does one of these. Just so I get from his point of view, it looked like all I did was push him down. I felt awful, but anyway, that's my my cute little funny story from Bragg.
Well, we would go there because we weren't too far away, and we would run down, and then somebody invented broom ball at some point, in history, which is probably the worst game if you've never ever been on ice. That you're just out there in tennis shoes and shorts, and a t-shirt, and just whacking the ball, falling, So when I said that I had never been on ice, it was kind of a little bit of a stretch. I lied. There was broom ball, So, but yeah, I love Bragg. I love that sheet of ice. It was fun to go down. I probably should have learned how to skate then, but I was busy. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll wrap it up with one more question. We'll do the quick hot seat, and then we'll let you go for the evening. What are your thoughts on pineapple on pizza? Is it a yes or a no for you?
Listen, if I have to be careful here, because my favorite player in the world likes pineapple pizza. So when Kevin wants pineapple and pizza, I eat pizza. So I got to give it
We
a
knew Kevin was
We're
a
going to
good
give it a
dude.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we like you, Kevin. The majority is a yes on this. We ask that question every week, so shout out to you, Allie, for hooking us up with that. And then we'll do the quick hot seat really quick. So the way it works is we're just going to ask you rapid fire questions about the players on the team, and the first name that comes to mind, you just shout it out.
Okay, let me do a sidebar,
Okay.
because like I love every single one of those guys in that locker room, and I don't want this to ruin, the work relationship that I have.
Yeah.
And so hopefully they realize that my brain doesn't work that good, and I'm just going to be spouting out names. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll try to keep all the
Well, if
questions
anyone
positive.
sees this, You can blame it on us, blame it
I
on
will.
Aaron, blame it on the bingo fan. Do
I will.
not blame it on Jack. We made Jack do this. So be nice to Jack because Jack loves you.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Big family, big family.
Yeah.
First one,
So
I'll
I'm
go.
gonna start. Okay, same thing.
Who would you trust to drive the bus if you weren't able to?
Jemaev. Or Jerome. Jerome Bichard or Alexander Jemaev. One of the two.
Who's the funniest?
The funniest, I think Roy's pretty funny. Like he's got an off-brand humor.
Yeah.
Like always gets me laughing. Like they're all funny. Like I laugh at all of them. You know.
I believe that.
Yeah.
What player would you choose to be emergency contact?
Underwood. Actually, all of them. I should be on their speed dial. You know, every single one of them I would trust to be my emergency contact.
Who would you call for a ride if you were out at the bar drinking?
Jerome Bichard or Jeff Croup, because I wouldn't want the players to know that I drank.
If you were on an abandoned island or deserted island, I guess, who are the two that you would pick to make sure that you survive?
Thornton.
Yes.
And let's see. And Somero. I'm sorry. He's been saying it wrong his whole life, but yeah, for sure. Like they're the big hunter killers. You know, they're not the gatherers.
I wish more people saw that side of Brody as well, because I've actually had some really awesome conversations that Brody probably doesn't remember at a bar about Bigfoot and some things that he's had to say. And Brody is hilarious. And I have a feeling who would last longest in the wilderness, because I feel like we might have just answered that one.
Well, me.
Oh, okay. I like
could see
that.
No, I'll say like it would have to be Psalms or Thornton again. You know, I mean, I think that's just the way they were raised. I don't know if they were raised in a schoolhouse or in a house. I think they were just outdoors kids.
Yes.
So,
Leaving the door open.
yeah, like I don't even know if they had a house. You know. But yeah, definitely one of those. Definitely one of those guys. Yeah.
We have an amazing hot seat question from Jay. He's a River Dragons fan. If you had to choose two bodyguards, who would they be?
Nobody.
Ooh, okay.
No.
I got this.
So, all right, here's a good one. Little Tex, because he's tough. And probably shoot. I'm trying to look at Chewy Blacksmith. Holy smokers. Like that guy's a monster, of course. So yeah, I think he'd do pretty good.
Yeah.
I might be out of order here. I'm so sorry, guys.
Nope, you're
If
right.
the team went on a trip to Vegas, who would be the first to get arrested?
Oh,
Blame it on the bingo fanboys, not Jack.
yeah. It's who would be the first to get arrested? I would say, holy smokers, that's a tough one. Because they're all pretty good kids.
They are.
Shoot, how do I answer that? Oh, probably the one that I work with, Eric Souders, the other equipment guy. I know he's not a team guy, but yeah,
He's still team guy.
yeah, he's a team guy. All right, yeah. Definitely him. He'd lose himself in Vegas, I think.
Get lost.
Yeah.
I'm
You
at
know.
the lost and found.
All right,
He'd
so we'll
be-
do one last round.
Okay, yeah, because this is pretty awesome. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You were so worried at first.
It'll be a
We
quiet,
love
be a
these.
quiet morning tomorrow because the guys won't want to talk to me. But
I'm gonna skip on this one. I had it. I just don't remember what it was.
Okay, no worries. Who would you say is the best dressed on the team?
Ooh, shoot, Andy, like he's, I remember last year I would tell him like, hey, take me clothes shopping,
Yeah.
because I'm old. And every game day, they all look great,
Yeah.
But Andy's, Lord have mercy. Like and then Ryan Hunter, he dresses to the nines too. Yeah. So definitely those two.
Who secretly would take the longest mirror check?
Oh,
Like who's checking themselves in the mirror a little bit longer than
I want to get crushed.
everybody else?
I would have to say, because he's not a bad looking kid. I would have to say Ryan Hunter or Galvin, I think, so like it'd be a toss up because they're good looking kids. Like nothing makes you feel ugly like standing between those guys. But yeah, definitely one of those two.
Spends the most time on their hair.
Oh, it has to be, once again, I think it's got to be Galvin or Hunter. I think it's one of those two. I wish you guys had some more because it's like, but no, yeah, it has to be one of those two because their hair looks good. Like me.
Throw one more out there.
Yeah.
Shahayla's got a
who's
really
the
good
most-
one in here.
Oh yeah, okay, we'll do one more round. Who's the most superstitious?
Well, most superstitious. I don't think we have one that's too superstitious. Ryan Hunter, I'll drop his name now, was the one that I was sewing up his gitch bottoms last year. And so like maybe that was superstition. I don't know. He's got new ones. But yeah. I'm trying to think. I can't really. Maybe I just not in the locker room that much. But yeah, that's a hard one. I can't even put a name up there for that one.
Well, I just want to say a rest in peace to Ryan Hunter's old school gitch.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. Like, all those times that I've pricked myself in the finger just trying to, make sure his underwear made it one more game, so I'd do it all over again, like maybe I'd wash them. I don't know. But no, I'm just kidding. I always love you too, buddy.
Aaron, you said you had a good one?
Shahayla had a really good one in here. Who would you not trust to watch Kevin, and who would you trust to watch Kevin?
Good question.
Oh, these are killers. Like the Texmo brothers are pretty good. Joel Texmo, he stayed here for part of the season under the roof with us. I think he'd be pretty good. Undies, but everybody I think kind of loves Kevin, so I would trust Kevin with anybody in that locker room. Like, hey, like I got to drive 7 hours with Kevin. Any one of them could take him.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Like that's, like I said, it's the whole family thing. I think,
Yeah.
and it's not lost in the locker room or during the game, after the game, win or lose, it's always there. So that's the big part, but I'm horrible at this game.
No, you're doing
you're
great.
not. You're great. You're great.
Sam, you want to wrap us up?
So sorry, I thought we were gonna use Shahayla's question as the last.
Oh,
Who do you
would
think is the best
you-
fighter dad? The best
Yes.
fighting dad? Oh, that would be Jerome Bichard.
oh, I can second that, and I'm
That
not
would
even
be
in that
fun.
locker room.
Yeah, like that guy. Do I have a couple minutes?
Absolutely.
Yes.
So last year we drove. It was a 3-game series, or we had played in Port, and then we were finishing up in. No, I think it was Detroit Port. is what it was. And we were in Detroit, and they had just finished up a new entrance, which was supposedly wider. And I remember pulling up, and I kind of got in the wrong lane. So I kind of compromised myself, and I was kind of like, you got to go. And I remember, and it was the turn to turn into Big Boy Arena. And they hadn't filled in the shoring on the other side where they had finished all the concrete work, the curbing. And I remember Jerome said, hey, you need to go to the next turn to turn into Big Boy. And me, I was kind of a little bit over exuberant. And I had asked him, I said, do you think I can make it to make the turn? And he said, no, I don't think you can. Well, I told him, I said, well, I'm compromised. I think I can. And I go to pull in, and I curb it and drop the axle on the curb. So the bus is going nowhere. The trailer's hooked up to it. We're out in the street, and that was pretty horrible. And that was the one time I told Jerome, I said, you had every opportunity to punch me right in the face on that one. And he didn't,
Oh, yeah.
So
Those buses ain't small either.
no, ours isn't. And then plus we're towing an 18-foot trailer, which doesn't really help much. 15-foot, 18-foot, one of the two. So, and then, like I said, I never drove a bus until I started working for the River Dragon. So I'm still not the greatest bus driver,
I give you credit because I wouldn't make it out of the Civic Center parking lot without hitting something.
I was my first season. I was supposed to get a little time in the bus around the parking lot, just kind of get familiar with it. And the bus came in late. There were still things wrong with it. So Jerome and our mechanic Milton, working to get it back up and running. And so now it's 7:00 and we're getting on the road. And I asked Jerome, I said, hey, are you going to, hop in there and then I'll just watch you for a while? He's like, no, you'll figure it out on the road. And that's how I learned how to drive the bus. I figured it out on the road. My first trip was Elmira, so we went.
Oh my goodness.
It's 70 miles an hour on the interstate, but it's my first time in a bus. I did 55 miles an hour the whole way because I was white knuckled and, kind of overwhelming. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
That's a long trip.
Yeah, that was a good
That's
one.
a really long trip.
Yeah. And Apple Mac didn't do a good job with me either. So yeah, that was a rough one.
I could see that.
So many bus stories throughout the league too.
Yeah. So we've got a sleeper bus. Not every team has a sleeper bus. So when the guys get on the bus, they're going to bed, And I remember, let's see, Petro, Krupp, they wouldn't wake up until we got to where we were going. And if it was a 13-hour ride, they slept for 13 hours.
Wow. Does the sleeper bus accommodate everybody to sleep or just like only a handful?
No, everybody. Like
Wow.
I think our bus sleeps 26 or 30.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Yep. And it's got a little kitchenette, it's got a bathroom,
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
I think we need a River Dragons bus tour one of these days on the
Yeah, that would be really
on the
cool. I would
TikTok
love
or
to see that.
something.
I keep joking because, I'm probably the best driver on the road, bar none. And I keep joking that I'm going to do a driving with Jackie, but everybody's telling me that like how unsafe that would be to be live streaming as I'm driving up to, Blue Ridge or Carolina or Monroe or Athens, so.
You can make videos like when you stop. I'm sure like the guys got to eat at some point or you know what I mean? Like the different towns you're in. Like you could totally do that.
Yeah. And it's just a driving tutorial, just teaching people how to drive. Because like I said, I am the best. So.
Well, you don't hear a lot of bad Columbus bus stories, and that same
No,
can't
they're
be
there.
said for most teams in the Fed. So you must be doing something right.
Well, the one in Detroit, when I curbed the bus, within 5 minutes, I was on the FPHL fan page or uncensored fan page or one of the Like, look at this.
The trash
Look what
talk
this
page.
idiot did. That's what it was. Look what this
Yep.
idiot did. And the bad part was, they get the bus off the curb. That's $1,000 trip for me. They get the bus back on the road. I take it, park. Now I've got to go get on the bench and work the bench. And walking out with everybody knowing that I was the idiot that curbed the bus was horrible.
I'll give it
Yeah,
to the
but that's-
fans because they're fast.
That's one story though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was it Indiana? I think when they were in bingo this season, like they hit a car or something and they hadn't even moved the bus yet and it was already posted. So
It's fast.
the fans are
It's
pretty
fast.
quick.
And there's
I might have had something to do with that one.
Yeah.
Maybe allegedly.
Keno just chimed in. Like he was my partner EQ last 2 seasons, and then he quit, and then it just ended up in working for the Orlando Solar Bears.
Oh, no kidding.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
that's pretty cool.
Oh,
Well,
and
he
that's
says that your driving rocked them to sleep. So
Oh,
that
yeah.
is a big compliment.
that's me avoiding all the other trucks. But no, Keno, he's that's a small resting stop for him. He's going to go. Well, hopefully, I get free tickets to whatever team he's working for in the NHL. So, unless it's the Capitals, but
What?
Don't want to be an LV fan at all. So
Well, hopefully he goes about 2 hours south. He'll hit Tampa. So
Yeah, he's
I'm
only
always
an hour.
rooting for Tampa.
He's only an hour outside of my hometown. I'm from Cocoa Beach, Merritt Island. So,
Okay.
Oh,
he's right. He hasn't been to my hometown yet because he's busy.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's gonna go for sure. I hope.
I love
I want free tickets.
well, thank you for popping in, Keno.
Yeah, for sure.
We appreciate it. Our Tampa hearts appreciate the Orlando Solar Bear
Yeah, we do.
representation.
Once again,
And
big
Jack-
plug.
I want to thank you so much for coming on. You've been absolutely incredible. I know personally, I would love to have you back on. I think we could
Yes.
do a whole nother episode with you. So if you're interested in that, let me know.
I'm down. You guys give me a call and whatever.
Yeah.
I wish I had more time because, like I said, just the people that I've encountered and get to kind of rub elbows with, when they come to town or we go to their barn.
Yeah.
I could probably name off 100 kids that I would love to, definitely send a shout out to. So, if you're playing in the FPHL, remember, I never played hockey. I still watch like a fan. I shouldn't, but yeah, these guys are rock stars for sure.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
let's do it. Let's plan on having you back for another episode. Maybe we still got a few more teams to get through. So I'll reach out to you and we can pick a date that works for you, even if it's in the off season, we can, whatever works for you. But just thank you so much for coming on. It's been really cool to get your perspective. And on behalf of the fans, thank you for what you do, because I feel like it maybe doesn't go as noticed to some of the hard work that you put in to make the oiled machine run as good as it does. So I know that we appreciate what you do.
I'm truly the core of this team. Truly the core. No, I'm just kidding.
No, but you are though.
But you are.
I think that people really should know that though, because without you, those players couldn't do what they do. A team is a team for a reason, and you're very much part of that. So
That's the one thing I'd like to think is that even though I'm not great, that I kind of help them, which is, I don't know if they don't tell me that I'm doing a bad job because I don't know, they think they will hurt my feelings. But yeah, for the most part, yeah, I think you'll do okay. Keep going,
well, give yourself more credit, because I think you're doing a great job, and I think that you've been with the Dragons multiple seasons should definitely show you that.
Well, that's just because Jeff Kroop's out of town a lot.
the other aspect is other players also trust you with some of their stuff too.
That's
Yeah.
correct.
It speaks volumes there as well about you and your character and how important you guys are.
Yeah, that does make me feel pretty good, especially at the end of the day when you realize that you can mess up a pair of skates and then that kid's pretty much done for the game, maybe. So
Yeah.
No, yeah, and I'll always do a good job for anybody. There's no hate between teams. I like to chirp a little bit, but at the end of the day, if somebody comes to me from another team, hey, I'm here for you. That's how it should be.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your service to the Dragons, and also thank you for your service to this great country. We really, really, truly appreciate you here at 10 Minutes. So.
Well, I appreciate this opportunity. So, I guess I'll have to find an agent, but yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. You guys are.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Have a good
so
night.
much, Mr.
too.
Barry.
Bye.
Bye.